Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me here. I have been missing a lot of friends in ecosystem working group, and I'm so glad to finally see you all again. To those who doesn't know me, I'm Jennifer. Currently is a technical program manager in the Android team at PL. And my main focus right now is working with Lotus team and to hopefully make Filecoin better along with all of you guys here. And yes, thank you for getting on this like amazing Lotus like swag logo. Cat is a huge part of Lotus team. As you can see here, along with all these cats, we are also having the team chart on the right. So for us, we are a very small team compared to the things we are being working on. But basically, we have 4 engineers leading by Ayush and Geoff just joined us a month ago. We have Sam and the Magic, and I'm Jennifer. I'm leading this like very new technical support engineer team at Lotus as well, working with Nicholas, James, Orion, and Maya to support our community. And this is our whole team. So I'm here today to hopefully like share more about like how Lotus like works and how we want to like connect with ecosystem teams better and how we can better support you guys and working with you guys to, working our like shared goal, basically making Filecoin better. So in 2020 and 2021, I would say Lotus team has been very focused on just like shipping Filecoin as a network and like making sure the protocol works and also the network stays alive. However, like since I would say June 2021, we can take a breeze because we ship the Filecoin, people are using the Filecoin network. We started to have start to define our own mission as the reference implementation in the Filecoin network and define our scope on like what is our team's like main focus. And I have like an overview here. So these are our we have a couple of like defined target user groups of like Lotus. First is Filecoin network. We have to keep like shipping Filecoin protocol to make it better and like just like evolve so that we can fulfill our user needs. Right now, our focus. So like I would say in March, we just shipped Snapdeal, which allow clients to onboarding their like deal into the Filecoin network within 40 minutes, which is like way better, like a 70% improvement compared to before, which like a process on deal onboarding was like 3 to 5 hours. So that's a huge thing we shipped this year. And right now we are working on the FVM, the Filecoin virtual machine, and hopefully we can, unblock user deployment like smart contract and unlock more use cases on Filecoin network. So Filecoin network is our first user group. The other one is like node operators, because we need people to operate the Filecoin nodes so that like people can sync with the network and talk to the chain. The next one, I'm going to go back to the developers, the last. So the next one, I want to talk about storage providers, who are the ones that is onboarding all this storage to the Filecoin network and doing the deal making to support our end users. That is our main focus of the user group. We want to make sure that they have a good experience on Ceiling, they can scale on Ceiling, and they can prove their storage to secure the Filecoin network. Now we also have developers. So as you can see here, Filecoin market right now, basic deal making is less of a focus of the Lotus team right now, because at PLN, we have another team, amazing team called Bedrocks. We have multiple sub-teams there, have a lot of like talented engineers that is focused on like Filecoin market protocol. So basically we are stepping back a little bit here and letting them take the lead to developing the deal-making software. So for us, we want to support the developers that is developing on top of Lotus, on top of the Filecoin network, to unblocking all those like user opportunities. So creating different storage markets, creating all the toolings, applications in the near future dApps, and also like smart contracts. We want to make sure that you can have great like JSON RPC API endpoints to talk to the chain and doing all kinds of the stuff. So developer is another user group that Lotus team is hoping to support. A part of that includes like enabling light nodes, so you don't have to run a full node of Filecoin network, which we all know is a pain in the ass, just because how big our state is. So And that's another one. We have been adding user support as well of our main mission since like this year, with like 4 like technical support engineers joining the team. 3 out of 4 is actually coming from the community. They are the storage provider of the Filecoin network since testnet, and they know Filecoin protocol inside out. They have been feeling the pain that storage provider has been feeling, and they know exactly what kind of the support the users are looking for, and that's what they are working on, focus on daily basis. So we are very lucky to have all those amazing technical support engineers, and I hope that all the developers and node operators and storage providers can leverage their service in the community platform. So that's our mission and scope. Actually, it's quite a lot, like compared to, we are just like 8 people in our team. So how we manage doing all these things is by running all these like project and programs that's listed on the right. I will go into the details in the next slide. Basically, we have a Lotus roadmap, and we also run a couple of like the program as a software development team. So we have our triage program, we have maintenance program, including our sprint planning. We have Lotus. You can pronounce it as Lotus Y or Lotus C, which is like hopefully the goal is like to enable external contributors to contribute to Lotus, because Lotus is an open source project. I will go to like more into the details later as well. We are testing it out in pl for now, but we are hoping to launch it officially to the overall open source community later this year. We also have PR rotation, which is reviewing the PR that's like contributing to Lotus and Actor, so that we enable external contributors to working on Lotus. We have the Filecoin SPX program, which is like a fellowship program that we run with our community members to test the software, giving us the feedbacks and help us prioritizing the things that the user needs. And the Lotus community support is basically a program our TSC is running. And I want to go into a little bit into the details, like how we work on those like programs and what's the goal of like of the teams and how we ship all these things. We have a lot of projects, as you can see. These are defined, I think, at the beginning of this year. So basically how we do things is like each quarter, we will try to see, okay, let's define all these like big projects that can help Filecoin network growth and like serving different user like stories. And then we prioritize them differently. How we prioritize them is like protocol changes, like FEM snap deals are always like P0. It's like, hey, we have to ship this, otherwise it's going to be blocking user cases on Filecoin. And then we also have like P1, P2, P3s are basically user experience things like line notes, snapshots, API, endpoints, better scheduling for like miners, better deal making. All those things are scheduled as projects. And we kept all those in our backlog. And we do collect all the user needs from different teams, including like crypto team, protocol development team, FVM team, ecosystem team, to generate this like huge Lotus backlog that we want to support. And we do a quarterly project like backlog triage and prioritization, and we do our roadmap planning. After doing all this planning, we will do monthly sprint planning. What the monthly sprint planning is to make sure that we ship a Lotus release every month. So as you can see on the right, we have been shipping Lotus feature releases, basically optional releases, on a monthly basis. For example, you can see 115.1 was shipped on April 7th, and we have a 115.2 shipped like 13 days ago. And right now we are testing 115.3 RC1. So how we do these things is like the second Tuesday of each month, we do a new release candidate based off the master branch, which is the dev branch of like Lotus, and a new feature release. Feature release are the optional releases that doesn't include any like network upgrade, like consensus breaking changes. However, including a lot of like user improvements, bug fixes of the Lotus software itself. So basically it's our maintenance of the Lotus as a software. we work really hard to make sure we ship all these features. And when we doing all this like monthly sprint planning, as you can see on this board, we will make sure all the developers actually pick a couple of like high priority bugs or like user feature requests and working on that for the month and including in the next month of like releases. And along with the future releases, we have to ship like network upgrade, like a mandatory releases, but we do keep like 2 work stream like parallelly so we can serve different user groups needs. So for the protocol changes, for the Filecoin network, we do mandatory release work stream. And then for the monthly feature releases, basically our maintenance, we serve our users as storage provider, node operators, and developers. And how are we getting all these tickets planned out? Is our technical support engineers, they do daily issue triaging of the Lotus repository issue backlog. So basically right now, if you create a ticket in the Lotus repository, you can expect a response within 48 hours. And then you will know, hey, do we think this is a bug? Do we need more information from you? And if you provide a lot of process information, we can also assign a prioritization label onto the issue tickets. And based on the prioritization, we will be picking these tickets into our monthly sprint planning and make sure that we fix the high prioritized tickets and like release new software to our users. So all that being said, what I'm trying to communicate here to the outer core teams. Yes, I know you guys work with the community a lot. You support a lot of hackathons, support a lot of like the projects or the teams that is building on top of like Filecoin, on top of Lotus. You will get a lot of like feedbacks on, hey, Lotus sucks on this point of view. How can we get that improved so that like, we can build better application on that? Or like you talk to, for example, Stefan's team talking to storage provider a lot, they will be like, hey, a lot of us want to join Filecoin and providing storage, but sealing is hard. Like even people at Lotus team are afraid of running a miner because it's like just so hard. How can we make it easier? We want to have a sealing as a service. However, Lotus doesn't support that yet. So all these like issues that user requests, we want to hear it. We want to know how we can help you guys. So while you receive all these feedbacks, if you can have very precise asks like what your user story is and what are their like pain points, and if you can create a ticket in Lotus, that would be super helpful for us. We want to know all these needs and like planning to work on those. And also we have talented engineers. They're just like hackers that they would love to hack on anything that can make Filecoin better. So any ideas maybe will just like sparkle some joy in their brain, and they will just look at their laptop for 10 minutes and make the thing happen. So you never know. So please making the requests like coming into Lotus. And if you are running a program, for example, Evergreen, a slingshot, and you sometimes think maybe the Lotus will be the bottleneck for a successful like projects, we're happy to support you. For us to support you, we would love to ask you to give us like a 1 to 3 months like lead time, like notice, so we can plan things out. It's like maybe we can allocate, for example, you are running this program or hackathon in April, maybe let us know on February, and then we can say we will be allocating maybe 20% of the engineering resources just to support this program in April. So that's another thing that we would love to know from you guys, like what ecosystem is going on and how we can enable you guys to have a more successful like project. We also would love to have open source contribution to Lotus. Again, Lotus backlog, we have like 500 issues, and we can use a lot of like talented developers that is in the ecosystem to help us like improving the software. So like when you see a problem, if you know good engineers or you are working with amazing teams that know how to fix it, please ask them to open a PR, and we are very happy to review them or like provide consultation services and to help them to get to know Lotus better, Filecoin protocol better, and getting the code merged into Lotus so more people can enjoy their contribution. So all that being said, how can you reach out to us? There's a lot of ways. So first, we are open source project. You can always find us in GitHub, which is in the Lotus repository. Creating an issue with great details is the most helpful thing you can do and deliver the needs to us. So I have a link over there. And we are also living in Filecoin's Slack. And the channel is Field Lotus Dev. We try to do our development and work in public. Arguably, all of our engineers, including myself, check this channel even more regularly than our DMs. So if you have any questions, just keep posting there. You can also reach out to me in DM. I'm Jenny Juju of Filecoin Slack with a huge cat face. That's my cat Aussie. So you can reach out to us as well. We also have this Notion page over here. So basically everything I just described, mission scope, the team structure, how we run things, our roadmap is public. You can find that on that Notion page. We are on Twitter this year. However, we still have to, game up our Twitter account game a little bit. So we are not tweeting a lot, but we started to tweet. So any follower is welcome and help us to spread the news. We are going to start to post weekly updates on this Twitter account as well. So that would be really fun. Last but not least, we do have Lotus team office hour. If you go to that Notion page, you will see a Lotus calendar. And on that, you can see every Thursday, we reserve an hour blocker for you to book office hour with us. So if you are a team that is trying to gather, design consultations or guidance on how I can build this thing and how I can use Lotus, or how I have these pain points, I want to talk to the Lotus staff, just book an office hour and we are happy to chat with you guys all. I think that's it from my side. Ideally, I would love to stay very closely with the ecosystem team and supporting all these initiatives that you guys are working on. Again, we are very limited by the bandwidth. So we do commit to support you guys. However, we cannot guarantee that we can, always be very responsive. But keep the requests coming. We will let you know when we can get to it, or we should create grants and working with external teams to deliver the thing we need. That's it from my side. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer it.